The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Money Radio staff, management, or advertisers, and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities. Some interviews heard on this program may be sponsored by the participants. It's time for Health Futures with Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth. This is Arizona's only show dedicated to providing you with expert advice on how to live a longer, healthier, and happier life. To learn more, call 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Bob Roth.
Oh, but ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America something to see, baby? Ain't that America home of the free, yeah.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Health Futures. I'm your host, Bob Roth, and it is November 11th, Veterans Day, and it's a great time for us to pay tribute to those veterans that have given up their lives to work to protect our freedom and this great country. And not to be confused with Memorial Day, these are people that are still alive. Some are still alive, some have since passed, but we honor them for protecting our freedom and protecting our rights and protecting this great country that we live in called America. I want to introduce our guest today, and if you're just tuning in, Health Futures is a show about how our older adult population can live a healthier, happier life, and we're able to do that by bringing extraordinary guests to our show, and we talk about some of the challenges and issues that our older adults deal with day in and day out. Today is a fun-filled, packed day. I've got more guests in the studio than I probably have ever had. And I want to talk about the guests that are lining up here today. First, in the first two segments, I have got two gentlemen from the Arizona Department of Health Services. I've got Wayne Tormala, and he's the chief. And welcome to the show, Wayne.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Happy to be here.
Good to have you here. And I've also got Chris Minnick. He's the marketing director for Arizona Department of Health Services. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us on, Bob.
And I'm glad to have you. And just want to tell our listeners on our third segment after the half hour, we're going to have Jenny Quezada, and she's with the Cancer Support Community Arizona. And on our fourth segment, we're going to have Dan Lawler. He's the executive director of the Alzheimer's Association. And we're going to talk about this great walk that is happening tomorrow morning, and it's going to happen in the city of Phoenix, and it's going to happen at Wesley Boland Plaza. So why do I have the Department of Health Services here today? Well, I've got them here in the studio today because we want to talk about this new Quit to Win campaign. It's Arizona Smokers Awareness Week, or Quit Awareness Week, and first of all, I think it's a great campaign. We have a lot of older adults that still smoke. And even though we do such a great job of getting the message out there, we need to do more. And I want to turn it over to you, Wayne, and really talk about this campaign and talk about what the Arizona Department of Health Services is looking to do with it.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Well, let me start by saying just in the last couple of months, we've really hit a grand slam in Arizona when it comes to tobacco control. We live and die by the data that's provided by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on what's the status of tobacco use in Arizona. And what we know now is that the latest figures show that as of through the year 2015, when asked, have you tried tobacco in the last 30 days, only 14% of Arizonans say they have. That's an all-time unprecedented low. In the last 5 years, and owing in large part to our aggressive marketing we do out there and public awareness around tobacco use, and based on the census reports and tobacco prevalence, over 200,000 Arizonans have quit smoking in the last 5 years. So we feel really good about that.
Wow.
Very conservatively, that creates about 2 million additional years of life, about 10 years on the low end per smoker. in terms of life expectancy, oftentimes as high as 30 years less. So we feel really good about that, but we also have unprecedented lows among youth in using tobacco. We're about 10%, where 10% of teenagers will say they've tried tobacco, and that's down from 14% just 2 years ago. So what all these numbers mean for us is that we're trending the way we want to trend. We know that tobacco is still the leading cause of death across the nation in Arizona. So when you can get people to smoke less or to quit smoking totally, you're creating years of life. And for older Americans and people in Arizona, that means more years as a grandparent. It means more years on the job and feeling productive with your life. And the adage of we just don't want to add years to the life. We want to add life to your years. And so as we get older, especially the boomer population that we know is this big silver tsunami that's going through our census reports, that if we can add years of quality living for people, and largely through reduction of smoking, then we feel like we've hit success. Now our campaign, Quit to Win, we feel like our goal is by 2020 to have the lowest tobacco rate in the United States. Right now we're about in the top 5, just about a tenth of a point behind California. So we're surging. We're trying to catch Utah. That's the ultimate goal, and that means we have single-digit numbers in terms of percent of smokers. But how we're going to achieve that is through these great campaigns, and probably invite Chris here. He's the master campaigner for our state. But the Quit to Win is a real unique approach we've never used before, involving sports celebrities, their philosophies on coaching, and how that matches up with the coaching philosophies of the Arizona Smokers Helpline when people call the helpline.
Wayne, you talk about top 5, but top 5 in the category of least smokers, right?
Yeah.
Not top 5 in the most. I just want to make sure
we have among the lowest smoking rates in the country right now. So we're probably in the top 5. The CDC hasn't released the official list yet, but if the other states are staying fairly steady as they were just a year ago, then we could be number 3 right now.
And I want to ask you about metrics before we talk about the marketing campaign.
Sure.
Is vapor.
Yep.
What has that done to smoking? I mean, I was always under the impression that the vapor tobacco was expanding that category. It sounds like we've done a pretty good job of keeping a
Well, we
lid
know
on
that vape use among youth is on the rise, and so that could help explain why tobacco use is declining.
Okay.
So technically, we don't define electronic cigarettes or vaping mechanisms as tobacco, although the FDA is they have these what they call deeming regulations, and they're getting tighter on that. That's going to take effect in a couple of years. We know that vape is on the rise among youth,
Sure.
And we also know that when talking to focus groups of kids around vaping, that oftentimes youth consider it just to be water vapor, and don't realize there can be heavy doses of nicotine, and the fact that they've been unregulated, you're not quite sure what you're inhaling into your lungs.
Got it.
And some have been studied. They found carcinogens and various toxins in some of those. So regulating that's good, because then we'll know exactly what you're doing. Vape use is illegal in Arizona for under 18 years of age. Illegal to sell, illegal to use. So it is a concern, and certainly the vape industry feels very strongly about their right to sell those products.
No, that's interesting, and I appreciate you taking the time to share that with us. I know that we're getting ready to take a break, and I want to turn the mic over to Chris. And Chris, I would love for you to just share with us a little bit about the Quit to Win campaign and maybe some of the sports teams that you've got lined up. And then when we come back to the second segment, we'll dive into it deeper.
Sure. The Quit to Win campaign, that includes that's 1 week. Next week is Quit to Win week in Arizona. We've got more than 20 community partners that have come together to pledge that they're going to do smoking cessation in their organization. So you'll see Mercy Maricopa, Honor Health. They've got access to a lot of employees that will be getting these messages. The goal with the campaign is to put it all under one roof. And we can talk about the campaign, the coaches part of it. We're calling it Coaches on Coaching. This is going to be an 18-month campaign that we're going to do. We reached out to several of the sports teams, and we feel like we've got a great set of people who are going to help us move this tobacco needle.
Well, I'll tell you what, I love the outreach. I love the name, Quit to Win campaign. I mean, you guys have done a great job. You should feel really good about it. You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you. We're up against a break. We're here with the Arizona Department of Health Services. I got Wayne Tormala, and I've got Chris Minnick here in the studio. We'll be right back.
Whether you're a millennial or a boomer, everyone needs to be paying attention to their finances and planning for retirement. Enter Matthew Harrison, the Millennial Money Guy. Matthew is a financial advisor and accredited investment fiduciary with Golden West Financial, and that means he has you and your money's best interest at heart. He understands the important role a financial advisor plays in helping young individuals, families, and businesses achieve their life goals. Working with you as your professional partner, Matthew will help provide financial solutions as you progress through your career and on into retirement. It's that kind of one-on-one attention that's going to help create your financial plan, a personal roadmap that could serve as a guideline to help solve financial concerns and achieve financial freedom. To truly understand your current financial situation, call Matthew Harrison of Golden West Financial today, 480-699-3612, or visit gwestfinancial.com for a complimentary consultation and to start your roadmap to financial security. If you've ever thought about investing in real estate, but you haven't because you just aren't interested in the typical hassles and headaches of real estate, then don't touch that dial. For over a decade, Investment Property Experts has been helping investors take advantage of the growing Metro Phoenix real estate market through a unique offering of turnkey real estate investment services. Investment Property Experts eliminates the hassles and headaches by providing a full inventory of single-family homes that are fully renovated and occupied with tenants. IPX manages the property for you during the time you own it, and when the time comes, they can help you get it back on the market and facilitate the sale. And if you'd rather not purchase and own investment properties, Investment Property Experts offers a guaranteed 9% return through deed of trust investment programs. Real estate market conditions in Phoenix have never been better, and with Investment Property Experts on your side, you'll be able to diversify into profitable real estate investments right from day one. Investment Property Experts, your true one-stop shop for real estate investing success. Get started by visiting azipx.com.
If you're looking to relieve symptoms or support your well-being, head to Walgreens for brands you need like Advil, Centrum, Emergency, and Nexium 24-Hour. And take your health in your own hands. It's your wellness. Own it.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures. I'm your host, Bob Roth, and it is November 11th. It is Veterans Day. We're coming at you live from the Scottsdale Air Park, right here from the Money Radio Studios. And I've got in the studio with me, I've got Wayne Tormala. He's the chief over the Arizona Department of Health Services. And I've got Chris Minnick, the marketing director for Arizona Department of Health Services. And we're talking about this great new campaign. It's called Quit to Win. And in our last segment, we talked a little bit about statistical data that our chief Wayne shared with us. And it is amazing the progress that we've made here, Wayne. I mean, we have made some huge progress, and the numbers are going down, which is phenomenal, and less people are smoking, especially kids. But we got this great campaign that Chris was talking to us about, and I want you to take over the mic, Chris, and tell us a little bit more, because where we left off, you talked about a lot of the organizations here in our community that are really getting behind this, and I would like you to build a little bit more on that.
Sure. What I was talking about in the Quit to Win is we have 20 plus community partners that are coming together for this Quit to Win week. When I explain the campaign, you'll understand where that name came from. The campaign that we're running that will start actually on Monday, and this is the first time, so you're getting an exclusive on this, Bob. This is the first time we've done any kind of promotion on this campaign. We kept it real embargoed because we think we've got a really winning campaign. The goal of the campaign, we're calling it Coaches for Coaching, is to get people to pick up the phone and call the ASH line. That's the Arizona Smokers Helpline, where you can get one-on-one coaching from somebody who really understands what you're going through. It's a homegrown helpline. A lot of the folks are former smokers. They have been there for a number of years, and what they provide is coaching. So when we thought...
Let's give out the number if you can.
So 1-800-5566-222
okay.
is the ASH line number. Anybody can call for free and you can get up to 4 weeks free of nicotine replacement therapy. So it's a great service in Arizona.
Nice. And there's a website too, ashline.org.
Ashline.org.
Okay.
So those are the resources that we're promoting. When we thought about how are we going to do a new campaign, we thought the Ashline coaches are coaches. People don't really understand that they're really homegrown people, and that coaching is really something that helps you get through this. So we reached out to some of our sports teams, and we thought, pie in the sky, we'll get maybe 1 or 2 coaches to join us and to talk about us and to cut PSAs that will promote what they do as a coach to help somebody achieve their goals and how that can translate to somebody quitting smoking. So we reached out to a bunch of teams, and what we ended up with is we got Todd Graham from ASU football, Dave Tippett from the Arizona Coyotes, Earl Watson, the new coach of the Suns, Sandy Brondello from the Mercury. We've also got Frank Gallup of the Arizona United, and we've also got Lute Olson from ASU basketball. So we were able to bring all of them together, do individual PSAs with them. And what we did is we didn't give them any scripts. Oh, I forgot to mention another legend in Arizona, and that's Tony La Russa, who's with the Diamondbacks.
Nice.
And obviously a Hall of Fame baseball player. He's in the Hall of Fame for his managing skills with World Series wins with the Cardinals. So he's a great asset, as is Lute Olson, as is all of our other coaches.
The other Cardinals.
The other Cardinals.
But I do want to say, if Joe Garagiola was alive, he probably would have been behind this too, because he was an anti-tobacco guy.
Yeah, so we saw all of these coaches really get behind this, and we had one scripted line. We wanted to do interviews. We asked them about their coaching philosophies, how they achieve somebody help somebody achieve their goals when they fail. All of these different things that a coach will do. And we had one scripted line, and the line is, "This is one time where I love a good quitter." So a coach is not ever going to want you to quit. We had that one scripted line.
I like that.
We had all of the coaches say it, and Tony La Russa is the one who nailed it. So at the end of the PSA that we'll see later on, we're going to have them live on our website next week. All of the coaches really, really nailed it. And Earl Watson kind of took his own take on it, and his take was, this is the one time you win by quitting. So we thought we've got a golden campaign here for our partners, and we're not going to call it Smoking Cessation Week. We're really going to roll it out with Quit to Win Week, because that's really what you're doing, is you're getting a big win in your life when you quit.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Fantastic. First time you've ever done anything like this?
Sure. Yeah, this is the first time we've gone in this direction with the marketing campaign, and such a big integrated marketing campaign where we bring the community and the personalities together. We do a new marketing campaign about every 18 months. You've got to keep the marketing campaigns fresh. You've got to keep them in the eyes. And Wayne was talking about, at 14% of a prevalence rate in Arizona, there's no more low-hanging fruit. People are smoking are tougher to reach, so we have to be a little more aggressive with our marketing and look at a broader scope of what we're going to do. Our last campaign, we had a series of 3 commercials. It was called How Much Longer. The 3 commercials were called Grave, Gurney, and Slap. They were the end result of tobacco. And, it's always dangerous when you put a campaign in the field, because we don't like scare tactics, but we really wanted to show the end results of tobacco. We had 10,000 more calls to the Ashline the year we launched that campaign than the year previously.
I remember the campaign.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes a statement when you see a guy standing on the grass and all of a sudden it's like an elevator starts going down, or you see someone toe tagged. I mean, it's a scary proposition.
They were very successful campaigns. This year we went 180 degrees.
Yeah, you did.
We're gonna focus on the positive aspects. So I should mention that in addition to our sports coaches, we actually have actual coaches from the Ashline who are talking about what they can do, the coaching that they provide, and how they can help you quit. And it's a very genuine campaign. The coaches come across as very inspirational. We've got some long form formats. I just watched Todd Graham's. He's got about a minute and a half segment where we're going to put on the website, and he talks about his own struggles with chew tobacco, and he grew up in Texas, and that was kind of a tradition, and he talks about how he'd struggled over the years. So when you see somebody who is at the top of the sports world and one of the top coaches in college football, talking about he struggles too. It really makes a connection with people.
It does.
So we're excited about this campaign.
And by quitting, you win. I love that whole message. We're getting ready to wrap up our second segment, and I want to make sure, we get your message out there. And the premise of our show is about older adults. Talk to me a little bit about, seniors and them being affected by smoking.
Yeah, we among seniors in Arizona, we people 55 and over, if I could use that, we're looking at a tobacco rate of about 15%. The good news is that we know that half of the people in that age group have tried to quit in the last year, unsuccessfully for many of them. And we know that the average smoker will try 10, 12 times to quit, perhaps unsuccessfully, have a lot of relapses. So to reach into that population, number one is you get immediate results. I mean, your listeners should know that if you quit tobacco use on January 1st, by January 2nd, your blood pressure is trending back towards normal, your sense of taste and smell is coming back. And by May, June, you've reduced the risk of lung disease by 50% already. So it's a very short-term benefit. So a lot of older people think, well, it's too late for me, what the heck. The other thing is
Good points.
The ash line. For your listeners that have tried to quit several times unsuccessfully, if they call the ash line, 1-800-556-6222, and enrolled in the ash line, then we know that the chances of quitting is multiplied by 13 times. And that's a huge difference for people. So I would encourage people to call if they haven't tried that yet.
I love the message, and I got to tell you, the other thing is you see health improvement, but then the other thing is that odor that usually is with somebody that accompanies them that are smokers. I mean, you can literally smell somebody when they walk in the room. And that's got to be a relief, too, for the loved ones and family members around them.
Well, it's not just the odor, too. It's the dangers of secondhand and what we even call third-hand smoke, what's in the drapes and the carpets and the clothes.
Right.
So in Arizona, roughly 700 Arizonans die a year from tobacco use that have never used tobacco themselves because they live with smokers.
700?
Yeah, the dangers, yeah. So secondhand smoke is the killer in itself.
Well,
so if you're not quitting for yourself, we ask the question of secondhand smoke. Who's inhaling your smoke?
Well, I can't thank you guys enough for being on the show here today. And I want to give out the number again, 1-800-55-66-222. And it's ashline.org. And really, it's an incredible campaign that you guys have come up with. I love the new twist. And the other one was very compelling. Trust me, the toe tagging and the elevator going down 6 feet was really compelling. But, I mean, to have our, and so many of our people in our community are sports fans, and to have those coaches not only tell you that it's cool to lose or quit and win, but also the fact that you have coaches on this helpline that are actually coaching them through it.
Right.
You know what? I've got a little less than a minute. Any final thoughts, any final questions, or any final things you would like to share?
Yeah, I think the main message here with our coaching campaign is we really want to get across. One of the biggest things is that this is an Arizona-based service that we have. So the Ash Line is made up of people who are here in Arizona. It's located in Tucson. It's not a national call center. So these are your friends. These are your fellow citizens of the state. And the biggest thing is that they're former smokers. They understand what you're going through.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you for being on Health Futures, taking stock on you. Wayne Tormala, the chief from the Arizona Department of Health Services, and I've got Chris Minnick. He's the marketing director from Arizona Department of Health Services. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Bob.
Stay tuned. In our third segment, I've got Cancer Support Community Arizona. I've got Jenny Quezada coming on board. We'll be right back.
We reach the bottom of the hour. We pause for a look at the world's news. Then we're back with Money Talk. We're Money Radio 1510 and 99.3 FM.
Trump has removed New Jersey Governor Chris Christie as leader of the transition team. The job is being handed to Vice President-elect Mike Pence. Meanwhile, thousands are continuing to protest the election results. Correspondent Stephanie Elam.
In Los Angeles, you saw 185 people arrested, some for blocking roads. You also had some people who were out past curfew because they were young. Those people also detained as well. We know that they were in front of L.A. City Hall chanting, "Not my president."
Those who served in the military are being honored on this Veterans Day. Josiah Bunting III is chairman of the Friends of the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Let us, in our own lives, at least try to embody the things that we admire and cherish and acclaim in those heroes in whose presence we are blessed to be today.
On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 2 points, the S&P 500 off 7. I'm Ann Cates.
Hi, I'm rapper, actor, model Lil Dicky, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about a pretty glaring issue within our society, and that's condom usage. Guys, I think we've gotten pretty laissez-faire about wearing condoms, and to be honest, I find it disgusting. People are having unprotected sex without even batting an eye. It's insane. It doesn't make one shred of sense to me. How can you even enjoy it? I'd be so stressed out the whole time. I won't bore you guys with the stats, but just know that STDs and unintended pregnancies are very real, and there's nothing better than peace of mind, and that's what a Trojan can provide you, the pleasure of protection. So be an adult and put a condom on.
At Wendy's,
This just in. Wendy's new Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is now an option with the 4 for $4. Let's go live to Switzerland. You can hear the ceremonial Swiss Alpine horns welcoming the new Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Now an officer from the Swiss Army is using his knife to cut into a ceremonial block of cheese. There you have it, the deliciously different Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Now available for a limited time with 4 nuggets, fries, and a Coke for just $4. Stay neutral, Switzerland.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time, meal includes small fries and a drink. Not valid in Alaska, Hawaii, or Switzerland.
This is Money Radio, sponsor of the premier financial event, Financial Fest, Saturday, November 19th. Find details and get registered at financialfest.com.
At AskMrAnnuity.com, we buy and sell structured settlements. Investors get yields from 5 to 7% from A-plus rated insurance companies. These are guaranteed payments that are perfect income stream for your retirement. If you currently own a structured settlement, we can quickly turn your future income payments into a lump sum of cash. Call today for a quote. You'll be glad you did. Catch the Ask Mr. Annuity radio show Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. That's Saturday, 7:30 a.m. or go to AskMrAnnuity.com. We're Arizona's premier factor for structured settlements.
This is J.D. Hayworth, host of Newsmax Prime on Newsmax TV with great news. Now you can watch Newsmax Prime twice each weeknight on KFPB Channel 56 on CenturyLink Prism. The future of our nation is at stake in this election, and it's imperative you get the news and analysis you can trust. Join me Monday through Friday on Newsmax Prime at 5 and again at 8 p.m. on KFPB Channel 56 on CenturyLink Prism. See you then.
What would happen if you didn't show up for work tomorrow, for the next couple of days, for a week, a couple of months, a year? How long until you'd lose everything you've worked for in a fraction of the time it took to earn it? If this fear keeps you up at night, it's time to learn the strategies we teach at Lifestyles Unlimited. Start with the workshop. Go to lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com and find your true financial peace, like so many of our members already have. That's lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com.
Retirement plans, an alphabet soup of IRAs, 401ks, SEPs, Roths, 403bs, etc., etc. Attend this year's Financial Fest and join CFP Nancy Fleming and find out what you always wanted to know about your retirement plans. Exactly how do these work best in your retirement plan? What are the rules? How are they different from each other? What about taxes on each of them? You save on taxes, yes, but what are the strings attached? Want answers? Then you must attend what you always wanted to know about your retirement plans from 2 to 3 p.m. at Financial Fest.
It's an event you don't want to miss. This year's Financial Fest in Scottsdale, Arizona, Saturday, November 19th. It's free, and you can get more info at financialfest.com.
I'm Bruce Vail with Your Money Now. The top trade official at the European Union said negotiations on a sweeping trade pact between the bloc and the United States will be put on hold for a long time following the result of Tuesday's election. EU Trade Commissioner Cecilia Malmström said there was no plan to hold any further negotiations on the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, or TTIP. The U.S. and the EU have been negotiating TTIP since 2013, and the election of Donald Trump, who employed a strong anti-trade rhetoric throughout his campaign, has dealt a further blow to prospects for the already struggling agreement. No big rally on Wall Street today, though stocks are mostly higher. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is now up 15 points. The Nasdaq Composite is up nearly 16, while the S&P 500 is down 5 points. That's Your Money Now.
When it comes to commercial vehicles, it's time to drill down to the details. If you're not driving the new Sprinter Worker from Mercedes-Benz, your van just isn't cutting it. The Sprinter Worker takes payload up a notch, carrying up to 3,512 pounds. Its cargo volume is cranked up too, with over 300 cubic feet of space. When it comes to safety, it's unmatched, but it's the price that'll really hammer it home. The new Sprinter Worker starts at just $32,495. It also has a service interval of up to 20,000 miles and the highest residual value in its class, according to ALG. Put that in your pipe and weld it. Huge capacity, small price, starting at just $32,495. The all-new Sprinter Worker, starting at only $32,495. Mercedes-Benz, vans born to run.
MSRP for a 2016 Sprinter Worker excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures. I'm your host, Bob Roth. And if you're just tuning in, we're on our third segment. We had a really fun-filled, packed first two segments. If you missed them, you can catch them up on our website at cypresshomecare.com. We had the folks from the Arizona Department of Health Services, Bureau of Tobacco and Chronic Disease. We had the chief, Wayne Tormala, and we also had Chris Minnick, who's the marketing director for them. And we were talking about this great Quit to Win campaign, and it's basically a smoking cessation campaign to really get people to stop. And the Department of Health Services has run incredible commercials in the past, and my hat's off to them because this has got a little different twist. And it is with coaches that say it's good to lose. If you lose, then you're winning. And we want to get more people to quit smoking, especially with our older adults and seniors. So it makes natural sense that I pivot, and I introduced her at the top of the hour. I've got in the studio, I got Jenny Quezada. She's the Latino Program Director for Cancer Support Community Arizona. And I've also got Dan Lawler, the Executive Director from the Alzheimer's Association. And it really makes sense for me to pivot over to you because you have got programs and services to help those that are afflicted and affected by cancer. So I want to turn the mic over to you because what a great segue in talking about the success they're having, but lung cancer is a big deal.
Yes, well, first of all, thank you for having us. We appreciate being here, and you said it, right? I mean, sometimes somebody might be in the case of already being diagnosed with cancer, and Cancer Support Community Arizona is a home and an environment for them to receive services and programs really to help them create a community of support beyond their family, and actually family is also involved to partake in any of our services as well. Some of those being support groups, which is one of our pillars. We have, and again, this is anybody diagnosed from an early on stage through survivorship. So it doesn't have to be somebody who is just recently diagnosed, perhaps they're already going through treatment,
right, and
really need a place of support. So we do offer support groups that are generic to different cancer types, but we also have a lung cancer support group. And that is a group that specifically meets for those lung cancer patients. And that is once a month. And so we do have a very robust, comprehensive program. So again, that supportive piece is one aspect. We do also have a healthy lifestyle pillar. And so that involves programs like yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, really that mind-body meditative activities that are also vital, when a cancer is going through somebody's family, a life of somebody who they know. And then again, we do also have social programs that are a part of that comprehensive program that we provide.
They're all free.
Yes, everything is at no cost to anybody who attends.
And I want to make this appeal to our listening audience because not only do I want them to know about the services that you have, but your programs are all really, they're created through philanthropy, right? You rely on philanthropy to be able to do the things that you do.
You're 100% accurate. That's correct. We're a community supported by our community.
And, I want our listening audience to know how they can learn more about you guys. How did they do that?
If they'd like to learn more about Cancer Support Community Arizona, we do have, again, a phone number that they can call is 602-712-1006. We are also online at www.cscaz.org. And we are here in downtown Phoenix. So again, we always invite anybody who is interested in learning more to attend a newcomer meeting to really get more of a history, the story behind who we are and how we became Cancer Support Community Arizona.
And where are you located in Phoenix?
We are a little north of McDowell on Palm Lane between 3rd and 7th Street. Our exact address is 360 East Palm Lane, and that's in Phoenix, Arizona, 85004.
And I'm out at your site. It's real easy to navigate and really easy to see. And you're right there in the central of Phoenix, which is great. I mean, people can find you. Are there different programs for different cancers? I mean, obviously there are lots of cancers out there, and you talked about the lung cancer, but I know that Susan B. Komen did a great job with breast cancer and breast cancer awareness, but we have many others that are going on.
We do, and we actually do try to accommodate, again, whatever, if there's a need in the community or a lack of specific cancer support groups, we try to fill those gaps, and also based off of our participants that are attending our community. So currently right now the specific cancer support groups that we offer on a regular basis are breast, carcinoid, lung, lymphoma, multiple myeloma, ovarian, pancreatic, and prostate cancer. And that's, separate from our weekly support groups, which are open to any type of cancers.
Nice. Now, and again, this organization relies on philanthropy, and if cancer is near and dear to your heart and you don't necessarily need the resources, but you would like to support them, they can reach you the same way. They can reach you at that phone number that you gave before, that's 602-712-1006.
That's correct.
Or go out to cscaz.org. Can they donate online too? Do you know that? I'm looking at online. Maybe they just call. Well, there it is. Get involved. Under the Get Involved, there is a donate tab, and there's also Arizona tax credit. So you're part of the Arizona tax credit program.
Absolutely. Now with the end of the year giving campaign, we are definitely a part of Giving Tuesday, which is coming up right after Thanksgiving. And so, if you haven't done that tax credit donation yet, we are definitely, again, consider giving back to Cancer Support Community Arizona.
Now, the phone number to reach you, is it 8 to 5 or is it 24/7?
It is 8 to 5.
Okay.
Say that, maybe somebody's busy past 5 o'clock. If you call and leave a voice message, we will return that phone call, the next business day. And we really do want to connect with anybody who's interested in becoming involved in any way. Again, if somebody's already a survivor or beyond that, or just interested in a community member that's interested in giving back and being a part of what we do have different, volunteer opportunities, and there's community events that we provide. In fact, if I can speak about this right now, we have Tribute Tree, which is coming up December 1st, and it is a community event, which is just a beautiful evening where we have some cookies and hot chocolate where, anybody that attends can make a tribute out of a clay heart to somebody that either has helped them along their cancer journey, or a nurse, somebody who's been part of that in their life. And we actually display those clay hearts, around a little fenced tree in front of the house of our facility. Yes, that's correct. And it's December 1st, again, open to the community, free event. It's a wonderful evening, and you're all invited to attend.
From 5 to 6:30,
yes.
Right there at 360 East Palm Lane. And the corridor is really McDowell and Central.
That's right.
And, I want to just leave this lasting comment, and you said it when you first got on, is the fact that you do have support group for survivors. And that's the hardest thing. When you lose a loved one, is what do you do afterwards? And you can open that up for how long after someone's lost somebody, for indefinitely or a year?
Absolutely. I mean, there's people process differently, and again, that surviving and thriving group, we have some that perhaps didn't know about us during, and then once they're surviving, but they still go through and process what has happened, and again, those future fears that somebody might encounter after going through cancer. So the Surviving and Thriving group is a fabulous group. We always overhear them laughing and having a good time. And again, it's just that sense of community that's created in that space through our participants, which are just incredible people.
And it's amazing how much support you get when you're navigating through this, when somebody else has been through has walked in your shoes, has been in your shoes. Jenny, we're getting ready to wind down the segment. I want to give you the microphone. Any final thoughts, any final things you would like to share?
Just again, I invite anybody who's interested in learning more about us to reach out at 712-1006, or feel free, like I said, to stop by. We're an old historic home that's beautiful, and it's a great place, so come and check us out.
Definitely come out and check Cancer Support Community Arizona. They got the Tribute Tree celebration, which is really just in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. It's Thursday, December 1st, 5 p.m. to 6:30, 360 East Palm Lane. You can call them at 602-712-1006 or cscaz.org. Jenny Quezada, thank you for being on the show. You're listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. We will be right back.
You can now catch Secured Financial Solutions on the Money with Anil Basarani and his team every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning from 9 to 10. Secured Financial Solutions believes that an educated investor is a profitable one. So tune in and be empowered with the facts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. right here on Money Radio 1510 AM and 99.3 FM. To speak with Anil and his team, call now 800-957-5604 or visit dreamretire.com.
Tired of the same old stocks, bonds, and mutual funds? Farmfolio's agriculture investments may be a great way to refresh your portfolio. Agribusiness is one of few asset classes that may offer both long-term stability and sustained aggressive growth. Listen to Farmfolio CEO Dax Cook Wednesday at 4:20 p.m. and learn how Farmfolio's farm shares can give you access to equity in large-scale agricultural projects. Farmfolio this Wednesday at 4:20 p.m. on The Financial Review.
What's the secret to getting ahead and having a more successful life, better career, and more opportunities? Listen with your host, David Kogan. This week's lineup:
the chief editor of Entrepreneur Magazine, the founder of Lawyer.com and the $1 billion Mail.com, the CWO of Radio Flyer, the founder of Jackson Hewitt.
Alliance's Heroes, unmask the secrets of heroes in business, every Thursday at 9 a.m. with David Kogan.
Hi, my name is Bob Roth, and I'm your host of Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. We're a weekly show found right here on Money Radio, 1510 AM, 99.3 FM, on Fridays at 12 o'clock noon. The premise of our show is about how our aging adult population can live a healthier, happier life. And we're able to do that by bringing outstanding guests to our show. So tune in on Fridays, 12 o'clock noon, Health Futures, Money Radio, 1510 AM, 99.3 FM.
It's worth the trip to the premier financial event of the year, Financial Fest, Saturday, November 19th in Scottsdale, Arizona. Check financialfest.com. Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures. I'm your host, Bob Roth, and we're on our fourth segment. We've had a pretty busy studio here with lots of guests. If you missed the first two segments, I had the Arizona Department of Health Services, the Bureau of Tobacco and Chronic Disease. I had their chief, Wayne Tormala, here in the studio, and I also had Chris Minnick. He's the marketing director. You can catch that. And our third segment, I had Jenny Quezada. She's the Latino Program Director for Cancer Support Community Arizona. You can catch all three of those segments and this segment right now that I'm about to do up on our website at cypresshomecare.com. So we're on our fourth segment, and I've got a return guest, and the most valuable guest of the day, because there is a really big event that's coming up tomorrow, and something that I'm very passionate about, and I know he's passionate about too. It's the Alzheimer's Association Memory Walk, and it's being held at Wesley Boland Plaza. And I know that I usually get down there really, really early, but I want to turn the mic over to Dan Lawler. He's the executive director for the Southwest Chapter, or Desert Southwest Chapter, Welcome to the show, Dan.
Well, thanks for having me back, Bob. It's a wonderful opportunity. It's a crazy day today as we prepare for the walk tomorrow.
Prepare for the walk and celebrate our veterans. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Things are going on, and it's great to have the opportunity to come on here today and encourage and invite everybody to come out and join us tomorrow morning downtown at, as you say, Wesley Boland Plaza. The Walk to End Alzheimer's is the largest event of its kind, really bringing together the community to show their support for each other and their commitment to fight against Alzheimer's disease. You know, as we've talked during the commercial break about it, you know, we've really seen a lot of growth and support from the community. There will be about 10,000 people out there tomorrow.
Wow!
It is. It's an impressive
Gives me
thing
chills.
to see. It really does. It's sad to see how Alzheimer's affects so many people, but it is very heartening that people are there and they're committed to fight. They're committed to care. They're committed to do something about this disease. And so it's a great opportunity for people to come out. We encourage people to bring their families, bring their loved ones. Check-in registration starts at 7:30. We'll start the program at 9 o'clock, and the walk itself, a little 3-mile walk, will start at 9:30.
And I will tell you, Dan's saying 7:30. You really need to get down there early because 10,000 people is a lot of people to descend on the area. But because it's at Wesley Boland Plaza, there is enough parking. There's enough room. The place could handle 20,000 people. So let's surprise the Alzheimer's Association and let's double it and get a lot more people down there. The weather's ideal. I'm sure it's going to be 79, 80 degrees that day. Probably early in the morning. It'll probably be in the low to mid 60s. It'll be a great day to bring your dog, bring your pets, bring your kids, bring your family, bring your friends.
It is a great day. I think the weather's going to be perfect, but I think to hit on what you say, it truly is a family-friendly event. You know, Alzheimer's disease is a disease that affects the entire family, not just the individual who is affected or diagnosed with the disease, but it's all the caregivers, all the loved ones, all the family. And so we really want to bring the family together. And they're going to come down. We have a lot of great partners there. We'll see Chick-fil-A there. We'll see Me Nana's Chips will be there. Neater's Bakery will be there. So we're going to have a lot of wonderful community partners. And I'd also like to say that we're going to have a lot of wonderful information about services, senior services, supportive services for families there that people can take time to learn about, get information about. I think it's just a great event all around.
Because I'm not as connected to this event, I'm only connected as a participant these days. I used to be a volunteer, and I co-chaired it back in the mid-early 2000s. So it was like 2004 to 2008 I co-chaired the event. I was responsible, I don't know if you knew it or not, bringing Ron Alosi and his band. Is he going to be there again?
He will be there.
I'm going to tell you, the band and the music rocks. I mean, we're talking about music from my era. You know, we're talking about the 1970s and 80s rock and roll band. And the one lasting impression that Ron brought to me, first of all, he is amazing, brings his whole band. He does this for free, and he does it every single year. I'll never forget, after the walk was done, he brought this whole family up. And there's a picture somewhere, and it was like 5 generations, and there was a little baby there, and there was an older adult in their like early 90s. He brought them all up on stage, and they were all dancing with him, and it was so moving because, as you said, it is such a family event and for a great cause.
It really is, and I think the Ron Alosi Band really drives home a point that I see time and time again, that people are touched by this disease, and those who are really committed to it. And Ron is a perfect example of that, and really wants to, bring people together and bring that joy into people's lives. He does a great job of it. So I'm looking forward to him and his band being out there again tomorrow.
Well, I want to give to our listening audience how they can learn more about it. So I know that alz.org is the main site you go to, and then there's a tab there to find a walk, right?
Correct.
So go ahead.
They can go that way. They can obviously call our offices, 1-800 232-3900, and they can also go online with the shortcut of phoenixalzheimerswalk.org.
I like shortcuts.
Yeah, so if you put in phoenixalzheimerswalk.org.
So you spelled Alzheimer's, right?
Correct.
phoenixalzheimerswalk.org. And you know what? It's not too late to sign up.
No.
Please, sign up. And even if you don't sign up, you can sign up there. They have volunteers there to set it up. And if you want a beautiful day for a beautiful cause, I'd like to see what Susan B. Komen has done for breast cancer, for the Alzheimer's Walk to do for Alzheimer's. I'd like to leave with just a couple tidbits, if you would, about, and I know my audience loves it and I love it too, is some statistical data so that our people can get their arms around what we're talking about with this disease. How many people are diagnosed, and, what's going on with it.
True. Alzheimer's disease truly is an epidemic. There's more than 5 million Americans who are diagnosed currently, and every 66 seconds, 66 seconds, a new individual is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It is nationwide. It is the 5th leading cause of death. Here in Arizona, it is the 4th leading cause of death. So it truly is impacted here in the community. And the other thing I really want to bring forth is I know we talked a lot about cancer and smoking cessation. From the National Institute of Health, if you take the top 10 diseases that are terminal in this country, all the different forms of cancer, heart disease, things like that, the other 9 outside of Alzheimer's are all on the decline in terms of people getting them. Alzheimer's is the only one where prevalence is increasing. And so it truly is, it's that hidden, insidious epidemic that is truly ravaging this country.
Yeah, and you called it an epidemic, and I had Dr. Pierre Theriault refer to it as pandemic. And, we got a chance to listen to those Arizona Department of Health Services people talk about the progress they've made with lung cancer and keeping, smokers down, the numbers, and he wants to be in the single digit. We got to find a cure, and there's no better way than finding a cure by getting out and being active. Getting connected to the Alzheimer's Association and really supporting this great cause.
Get out, be involved, raise your voice, and show that this community is committed to doing something about this disease.
So some final thoughts you want to leave with our listening audience on Alzheimer's, the walk, and...
the walk is it is our largest single fundraiser, much like the Arizona Cancer Society that was here, that we have a number of programs and services. If people are listening and they're affected by or worried about their loved one, especially going into the holiday season, and they need some support, give us a call. We're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And all the services we offer, from having social workers or information and referral to education, all free of charge.
They have some incredible support groups here. They've got case workers that are there to answer your phone calls and to help you navigate to some solutions.
That's right.
And that's what we need. We all need that. Well, remember the Alzheimer's Walk tomorrow, Wesley Bowen Plaza. Dan, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Bob.
Make it a great day. Have a great weekend. Happy Veterans Day. My hat's off to those people that fight for our freedom and have fought for our freedom. Make it a great day.
Thank you.
There's no place like home. You've been listening to Bob Roth's Health Futures. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call Cypress HomeCare Solutions at 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Or visit CypressHomeCare.com. Be sure to join Health Futures with Bob Roth every Friday at noon, right here on Money Radio 1510 and 99.3 FM.
Since 1894, Ameriprise Financial has worked for their clients' futures, helping millions of Americans retire on their terms. Work with Ameriprise Financial Advisor Wayne Candace, and together you'll develop a customized plan for your retirement. Discover the one-to-one relationship you deserve. Call Wayne today at 480-922-4215. Office is located at 16220 North Scottsdale Road, Suite 250, Scottsdale, Arizona 85254. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor.
Money Radio 1510
and 99.3 FM
is KFNN Mesa Phoenix and K257CD Phoenix. This cooler weather means our coolest event of the year is coming up. Money Radio's Financial Fest next Saturday, November 19th. Find everything you need to know about it at financialfest.com. Right now, the Dow is down 15 points, S&P 500 down 10, and the NASDAQ is up 4 points.
When people want to talk about money, this is the place they come to. And there's more on the way after this break for the latest news. And we begin